Is he being back in it since?
Martial was playing. I don't know. Ask the chat. I don't know. I don't watch all their games.
Chat. That's a good
I don't
question.
think so because I don't think he's been fit. So I don't think so.
So you can't say he's in the French national team then if he hasn't been in there since before that World Cup.
No, but if he's fit, look, he's always in the squad when he's fit. There you go. But the thing is, his fitness
in the
he
squad,
just hasn't been fit.
Yeah. No, fair.
He just hasn't been fit. Do you know what I mean? Just not in major tournaments because he missed out on the last one due to lack of game time under Jose and injuries. But remember, since that World Cup, he's gone out on loan to Sevilla, and he even had injury problems there as well. So he hasn't been fit for a long enough period of time to really cement his place in that squad. So, but he's always in the squad when he's fit. So it's one of them things where I think if he's fit for Manchester United, he plays. Even if he's not fit, I believe Man United keep him in the squad because of the quality that he has. That's it.
So the quality that he brings, however many times a season, is that worth 230 grand a week for the next however many years?
I think it is. And the reason why it is, if Manchester United want to be a serious, football club, the thing is, we need to, as football fans, we need to start looking outside of our starting 11s. Even if we can't rely on this guy to play week in, week out, Real Madrid doesn't say, yo, like Rodrigo's on 100 and something K and he's not starting every week. Let's sell him.
He would if he was injured, though.
Whatever. Nah, but they wouldn't though, bro. Like there's certain players, bro. Look how long Gareth Bale was there. Like if you've got a player of quality, significant quality in your eyes, and they're on a certain amount of money. And remember, Gareth Bale was on, bruv, like nearly.
They tried to let him go though. Bale just didn't want to go. He just wanted to.
No, but they tried to let him go. But they tried.
So they wanted to let him go.
They tried to let him go towards the end of his contract, but there was plenty of times where Bale was sitting there, coming off the bench and still impacting the game. If you've got a good player that wants to be at the club, remember, Bale didn't want to be there either. Do you know what I'm saying? Bale didn't want to be there, but he wanted to go where he wanted to go, and no one could afford him. But with Martial, he's not unhappy at the football club. He's happy under this manager. If he's not starting every week because he's not fit, I don't think that he's going to try and go somewhere else where he might not be happy and might not be playing. I think that he's pretty settled at the football club. So I don't think there'll be a rush for the club to get rid of him. Because to be honest, 200 grand a week to our football club ain't a lot of money, bro.
So
Phil Jones is on about I think Phil Jones is on that 130, 140, and he hasn't played for us for like 5 years.
So so to Manchester United, you're right. I think that's a fair point that you've made there. In terms of that, it's not much money, but I think if it's Manchester City, I think if they've got nothing but injury-prone wingers, I think they go out and replace them. I think the difference with I think it's what you said is absolutely bang on. You need to worry about the squad depth around the team. The difference is that when Jack Grealish or let's say, or when Raheem Sterling was there, when they weren't available, it was Riyad Mahrez, it was somebody else, even Leroy Sané, who had a lot of injuries at City. As good as he was for them, they still sold him because he never had that consistency. And Martial, yes, he adds to your overall squad, but if he's not going to be there to come off the bench or to start the odd game, which stylistically suits him, I don't think that 230 grand's a week worth it. So maybe it'd be worth letting him go. And there's many other wingers out there who are better than him. There's many other number 9s out there better than him. And for Manchester United's budget, it's an affordable price. So I think the Bale comparison, I think it's just so different circumstantially. I don't think Bale was happy at Real Madrid for the reason that he was playing week in, week out and stuff like that. But he didn't want to go anywhere else because they weren't going to be offering the money that Real Madrid were offering. Gareth Bale has just been at Wales for the past 5 or 6 seasons. He went to Real Madrid. He was such a huge investment. They gave him 3 to 4 seasons the same way Manchester United. Sorry, they gave him longer than that. But it was 3 to 4 to 5 seasons before all of the the relationship started to disconnect, and then you started to see the flags of like Madrid, Wales, Golf, Madrid, and stuff like that. That shows clear signs that one was just staying there on a contract, and Real Madrid just couldn't let him go. I think selling him to Tottenham as well, loaning him out to Tottenham as well, was a big inclination that they just weren't too keen on Gareth Bale for the last couple of seasons, but they were willing to try it for the first few. I think you've tried with Martial. I think he's starting to get more injury issues. I don't think he's worth 230 grand a week if these are going to continue. And I think if you are going to stick with the premise of what you've set, which is improve the all-round squad depth, I think that's one area that you need to improve.
Yeah, we do. We need to get more depth, but we don't need to get rid of him because then that's one less player. To me, that doesn't make sense.
So if you bring in another left winger, so you can easily sell Martial. So Manchester City. Yeah, wait there.
Doesn't turn the
Manchester
wing.
City brought in. No, yeah. So wing or striker, both either or. So say even if you bring in another number 9, right?
Right.
Why are you going to have 3 number 9s there when one of them's injury prone on 230 grand a week? When you can bring someone else who, like Riyad Mahrez, can come into the City team and sort of play in the games where it's more suited to him, and he's actually going to be available, where he's going to be earning and worth that however many 100 grand a week. Martial doesn't do that. So I'm not saying sell Martial and then don't replace him. Sell Martial and bring someone else in. So then there you go. You're still improving on that squad depth. But
Yeah,
it's nonsensical.
but
It's nonsense.
I don't believe.
Last point. It's nonsensical to bring in a new player for it's nonsensical to bring in a new player and then keep Martial there on 230 grand a week. To
Yeah,
me,
but Ronaldo's on 500, bruv. So why would you get
yeah,
rid
but
of?
your
So
club's tapped though.
why would you get rid of Martial? Yeah, 26 Martial. Yeah, 26 years old Martial. Yeah, that has undoubted quality, and yes, he does have his fitness concerns, but the skills, the very specific skill set that he has, is very hard to replace. Ronaldo is 37, so he's 11 years older than Martial, and he plays less and he affects the game less. So it would make sense to get rid of him and bring in a striker that can start games, and then you feed Martial in and you rotate him. Because remember, Rashford can also play up front if we need him to. And if Mason returns, which I think he will, he can also play up front. So we don't need to replace Martial. We need to be looking at long term, yeah, like bringing in a first choice striker and keep a Martial, because that would make sense. Because his quality, probably his quality is very hard to replace, and especially someone that knows the club, actually is happy there. We could go out and bring someone else in that doesn't know the club, doesn't really know how the manager wants us to play, and it may not work out. The one thing with him is we know when he's fit, we know what he gets. I'd rather have a
But it,
player like him, even if he plays every third game for us. I know the quality he's got, but then bringing a first choice striker that can play every week. But I don't believe in getting rid of him. I don't. I don't. When we've got worse players than him in the team, I feel like you should get rid of your weakest players first, and that's how you build a strong squad. You don't get rid of one of your strongest players and then try and replace them when you've got other weaker players in the squad.
Ronaldo's on the last year of his contract, though, isn't he? So if you think about it,
He
he's already going to be on his way out, and
is.
then you're going to have Rashford and Martial, which means you've got 2 strikers there. Let's forget Greenwood's situation because there's no guarantees on whether he'll come back or not. But Man United don't know more than us. So if Greenwood is in the works, then okay, there you go, you'd have more depth. But you're still paying a player 230 grand a week who's not going to be playing consistently. Injury problems have only gotten worse. Isn't going to be going any more higher in value anytime soon. In the moment, like right now, why you can still, again, money isn't really the biggest thing for you. So I suppose you're not desperate to get 20, 30 or however many million that you would get for Martial in this current state. But what I will say, Ronaldo's already on his way out. I would suggest that Rashford and I would suggest that just Rashford alone is not good enough to lead your line, and then I don't think Martial is reliable enough to then take over Rashford for a long period of time if Rashford was playing shit. Hence why I'm saying you need to bring in a new forward. And if you're going to bring in a new forward, it makes no sense to have Martial, Rashford, who combined are on like 500 grand a week, and then have this new centre forward who, in my opinion, has to be better than them two, who's probably going to be on more. Does that make any sort of sense?